match press conference of match number 42 of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 that is going to take place tomorrow at Al Stadium. Please allow me to welcome coach of Canada, Heyrdman, and player number 5, Stephen Vittoria. A translation is available via the FIFA interpretation app in French, English, and Arab. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hands and wait until we give the microphone. We go directly with the questions, please.
Ahmed, Talal, 7 TV Moroccan Media. Coach, before this conference started, there was the conference of the Moroccan head coach, Walid Regragui, and he spoke about the Canadian national team as one of the strongest of this group. You come back from 2 defeats. What will be your main objective tomorrow? Will it be a victory for the honor?
Yeah, I think tomorrow is it's a real opportunity for our players, for our country to keep stepping forward. We've, I think as a group, we've tactically and with our identity took some big steps in this tournament. I think football people who've been waiting for Canada to arrive were wondering how we were going to show up, and I think we showed up on the front foot, and that'll be our approach again. We'll stay committed to our identity, and we'll go into this match with an opportunity to make some more history. We took some big steps together. We've been enjoying the ride the last couple of days. We know there's not long left, and the players are excited to go and play for their families, for the fans in the stadium, and to try and have one of those moments.
Kyle Bonner with ESPN. John, could you kind of put some context around that with the first goal and what that means for the program, the group, the country, and then building off that? What has been the most impressive part of Tejan's development over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think when we first took over this program, we talked about that moment that sort of unites people, unites families, it ignites passion. You can come to a World Cup and not score a goal. You can come to a World Cup and bunker in and defend for 90 minutes. But I think the young generation is what we wanted to inspire in this country. There's football fans across the country that have been waiting for this moment. To see it and feel it, to be there on the touchline, just an absolute privilege. I dreamed about that, about East to West. People celebrating in a way that I used to at the '86 World Cup when Gary Lineker scored. I remember those moments. It just ignites something in you. This is what this group came to do, and we watched those celebrations back. We had a lovely meeting yesterday. We sort of celebrated Alfonso's goal together. But they got to see what we really came here for, which was to give Canada that moment and to be proud of moments like only the top players show those moments at World Cups. I think he showed them with his little touches down by the corner or blowing by a player. So I think for Tejan, it's been a terrific 2 games, and there's more to come.
Question to Stephen Vittoria, please. Okay. Limited.
Matthew Schneider from TSN. Stephen, take us through watching Alfonso's goal with the entire team, and it often happens at the end of the season with the team. This team may never be together again, certainly not in an atmosphere like this. The emotions that everyone is feeling as you guys are less counting down the hours and more living in each moment through the game and tomorrow and the moments after when the team will depart and leave.
Yeah, as Coach said, we talked about, being the first to do a lot of things in this tournament, and that was a big one. To see just how everybody exploded with that genuine happiness, knowing what it meant to our group, to our country, it's special. We have an opportunity here to, to send our message to our people back in Canada, to the youth, to those generations, and I think that I know that this group has done a fantastic job in doing that, and we have an opportunity tomorrow to continue. It's been a special learning experience, one that we definitely don't take for granted. and how we performed, the courage that we showed over these first 2 games. It's a lot to be proud of.
Before we continue with the questions, I would kindly ask our colleagues, the photographers, to put down the cameras. Thank you.
ها؟ عربي. ناصر خالد مراسل موقع كورة. عندي سؤال للكوتش جون، هل عندكم أي إصابات بالفريق غدا؟ وسؤال لستيفن، كيف حتواجهوا بكرة المنتخب المغربي العربي وسط حضور جماهيري منتظر ومتوقع أنه يكون كتير كبير؟
Yeah, we're just assessing one of our midfield players, so we're going through that assessment currently. We assess the training today and probably assess right up until match day. So at this point, we've got no players confirmed out as of yet, but obviously some assessments going on.
And to the second part of the question, yeah, we know we're gonna have another tough test. It's what this World Cup's about, against a really good Moroccan team, but we're looking forward to it. We also have an opportunity. We set goals that we want to achieve in this game, and we're definitely looking forward to taking advantage of the opportunity we have tomorrow.
Joe Callahan, the Irish Examiner. I was just looking at the FIFA calendar, and Zlatko Dalic is in the next room doing his press conference, and we haven't had a chance to hear from you. You didn't get a chance to respond on Sunday to his comments around the handshake, and I just wonder what your take was on that, on how that went down, and what you kind of said afterwards.
Yeah. Look, we shook hands before the game. Yeah, so that happened, and at the end of the game, the usual process, no different. Roberto Martinez, you shake hands with the coach, then you go and shake hands with the referee. When I turned around, he was already off down the touchline, which is his right to do. He's celebrating. He's just beaten Canada. It was a big celebration for him. So, you know, he was off, and I couldn't get to shake his hand. I went onto the field, shook the ref's hands, shook players' hands, and didn't get to see him. That moment's gone. We're in the process now. Team huddle, you know, see your fans, flash interviews, calm yourself down so you don't see anything, and move on.
Peter Galindo, Sports. For John, you spoke about little details after that Croatia game. One team who seems to follow those little details are Morocco, who have one of the most disciplined team defenses in the tournament so far. So how do you, how much of a challenge is that? And then for Stephen, sort of a follow-up to that, they're also very lethal in transition. So how do you view that task?
Yeah, I mean, the details for us was sort of examining that 17-minute slump. We had a period of time in the first half that, you know, we went into the momentum analysis and we got into it as a group yesterday, just looking at the details in there, the things that either the staff or the players could have done differently. And that was it. We looked at those things. I'm sure Morocco looked at those elements as well. But tomorrow's a different battle plan. You know, it's a different type of team, different style and different circumstances. When you go out and play Croatia, you've got to win a game against one of the world powers. You're crafting a mindset and a tactical blueprint that, you know, gives the players the best chance to go and execute. So Morocco is going to be very different. I'm sure they've seen some gaps. And at the same, we've been able to look at where we can impose our strengths on their team. But they are a very good team. You know that. Their defensive XG is very low, and yeah, that's going to be a tough opponent who's very motivated.
Yeah, and just that's the second part of that question. Again, we know the difficulty that we'll face tomorrow, but we learned some lessons over the first 2 games. We know every game is different, but we also are very clear with our identity, you know, and that's where we talked about those gaps. That's where that positive growth is for us, is to stay true to our philosophy, and close certain gaps. We're gonna have another test to do that tomorrow against a fantastic team it's gonna fight for everything. But our World Cup's not finished. We're gonna show up tomorrow with our goals very clear, respecting Morocco, but also respecting what we want to get out of the game tomorrow.
Joshua Cloak, The Athletic. John, we won't talk to you after the World Cup, so I'm just curious, looking forward, what does the next stage of your career look like? What comes next for you?
Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow, getting these players in a moment where we can really take advantage of the opportunity to get our country celebrating, to get the fans off their seats. So, I've tried to stay in the moment this whole time. I've worked all my life to get here, and just stay present with these boys and enjoy the moments. We had a great leadership meeting just before we came in, looking back at our first meeting together and what we set out to do. So, I've got to stay here in the moment. You'll speak to me after the game, for sure. There'll be an opportunity. I'd love to speak to the media and sort of celebrate what these 3 games have meant to the Canadian programme. I've done 11 years in this country, 11 great years. I had a great time. Love the country, love the people, and excited for 2026.
And if I can, just also as a player's perspective, as one of the captains, one of the leaders of this team, I want to be very clear that the future for this team is so bright. Of course, we had very little to no experience coming in to the biggest stage, but the way we showed up here, it could have been very easy to park the bus, to park the airplane in front of our net, to wait and see what was going to happen. But we showed up here with a lot of courage. We went after. We didn't sit and wait to see what was going to happen. We went after, what we wanted against the world's ranked number 2, against the vice champions. And if you asked me 2 years and a half ago, 3 years, if I'd have this opportunity to be here speaking, discussing a group stage versus the best teams in the world, and tomorrow's going to be no different, I would have signed anywhere, and that's all been possible. When I hear about the question of the future of our coach, the future I think is very clear, very bright, and I know Canada's proud and very excited for the growth of this team and the experience that we had in this tournament so far, even though we're not done.
Bonjour, Knas Press, Ismanas. Bonjour coach, Steven, bonjour. Coach, le Maroc a fait un match nul contre la Croatie, elle a battu la Belgique. On sait bien que la presse l'appelle le cheval noir, surtout que la présence des supporters est énorme. Est-ce que ça vous donne plus de pression, surtout que le Maroc, avec un coach jeune, il cherche toujours de gagner? Merci.
Yeah, we talked about that today. I think Jonathan Azario in our leadership meeting just had a real strong statement. It's just what we wanted. It's what we came to a World Cup for these moments, so no one can say it was a nothing game, and we just want a moment. We want these moments to be big and meaningful, and we know the Moroccan fans are going to show up. They're brilliant. So we'll enjoy that atmosphere. We're used to it in CONCACAF, usually 70,000 Mexicans in the Gold Cup or whatever. So it'll be an exciting experience, but there'll be some Canadians there as well, that's for sure. Our fans have been absolutely immense in this World Cup. That game against Belgium, we thought we were the home team, and they stayed with us right till the end in the Croatia game. So it'll be a nice battle of the fans as well as on the field.
Hi, Alexandre Pratt from La Presse here. Steven, you just said that you've learned lessons during this World Cup. I would like to hear both of you. What lessons as a team have you learned during this World Cup?
At this stage, when you look through our whole qualifying, we quickly became a winning team. We wanted to transition that into World Cup, which as we all know is not easy. But you know, the lessons, we talk about those gaps. We show that we can compete with the world's best. You know, and just finding that balance. You know, when you win, not everything's perfect. The same way when you lose, not everything's wrong.